Mr. Funke, good afternoon. Just first up, in a general sense, just paint the picture for our viewers. Why would sugar tax cost jobs?
Yeah, the sugar tax has cost jobs because less sugar has been sold into the country due to reformulation. So in order to escape the sugar tax, the beverage companies decided to reduce their sugar in their soft drinks. And that has hurt us because we had to export more sugar onto the world market. And in the sugar market, you don't want to be exporting. The world market is a dump price with the likes of Brazil selling below cost of production. And it's very hard to compete as South Africa with countries like Brazil and India, as well as Thailand.
Are you concerned that Mr. Enoch Godongwana, in his first national budget speech as minister, might raise the sugar tax?
We know the state of the country and its finances, so we're extremely concerned about it. We've done some independent work with the Bureau for Food and Agricultural Policy, and they've come back to us and said if the sugar tax remains the same over the next 10 years, there will be a massive impact on jobs to the likes of 16,000 jobs, in addition to the ones we've lost already. And if the sugar tax is doubled, we'll see job losses of 22,000 during that period. So extremely concerning numbers coming through, and we've seen the devastation that the original implementation did. So any increase in the sugar tax will hit the sugar industry very hard.
Is there any indication that the minister might go there?
We're hoping not, and that's really part of our request to him, is to actually scrap the sugar tax. That is also unlikely because it's obviously brought in money for the government. So, yeah, but an increase will be devastating. We can't afford any increase in the tax. So, at the least, keep it the same would be our suggestion.
But keeping it the same might end up over the next few years, as you said, with a loss of above 60,000 jobs. What are the alternatives? What does the Cane Growers Association believe are the alternatives? Because my understanding originally when this tax was started was that because of health reasons, you know, the state needed to get some money from there. But what are the alternatives?
Yeah, that's a very good question. We're obviously working hard in the sugarcane value chain master plan to find these alternatives. So some of the options that we've been driving as SA cane growers are sustainable aviation fuels or ethanol production. We know what the state of our refineries is in South Africa, our petroleum industry. So that could be an addition. And then obviously bioplastics are another one that we're investigating to see if we can't convert the sugarcane, or at least the sugarcane juice and the ethanol made from sugarcane, into these alternatives. But the problem is that these are a few years away. So even if we start today, by the time we have our first sustainable aviation fuel plant going, will be at least a 5-year time horizon. And our concern is that if the tax is implemented now or increased now, we'll see those immediate job losses, and there won't be an industry to supply anything to these ethanol refineries in future.
So, irrespective of what Mr. Godongwana will say tomorrow afternoon in his budget speech, will you as an industry continue to engage with government in terms of finding those alternatives and maybe, hopefully one day, having the sugar tax scrapped in order to save jobs and promote investment in the sector?
Absolutely. That is our commitment to our farmers out there. We've worked hard with them and with government and built some very good relationships and understanding over the past 2 or 3 years of the master plan. And we will continue to do so in that drive to find alternative solutions for the sector.
Thank you very much. That's Thomas Funke. He's the CEO of the South African Cane Growers Association. They are hoping minimum the sugar tax will stay the same in the national budget speech that will be delivered tomorrow afternoon by Minister Enoch Godongwana. The worst is an increase. They argue it will cost more jobs. Already jobs have been lost just in the first year of the sugar tax. We'll have to wait and see what happens.